in front of me.
Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
Teacher, Divaldo can't see.
Ivaldo, you can't see.
yes.
Just, I think everyone sees what I'm sharing now. Okay. All languages have the same number of sounds. What is it? Taish, can you hear?
Yes.
What do you say about number 5? All languages have the same number of sounds.
Is it false?
Why?
Because every language is different.
Very good. Now, please open your book, page 33. There is a test. Look at here. Now we are going to read it together. Then we will answer these questions. Are you ready? Can I start?
Babies Foods by Emily Shelf from Science News. It can be hard to tell newborns' words. They can't talk, walk, or even point at what they're thinking about. Yet babies begin to develop language skills long before they begin speaking, according to recent research. And compared to adults, they develop these skills quickly. People have a tough time learning new languages as they grow older, but infants have the ability to learn any language, even fake ones, easily. For a long time, scientists have struggled to explain how such young children can learn the complicated grammatical rules and sounds required to communicate in words. Now, researchers are getting a better idea of what's happening in the brains of society's tiniest language learners. The insights might eventually help kids with learning disabilities as well as adults who want to learn new languages. The work might even help scientists who are trying to design computers that can communicate like people do. The brain of the baby is a new frontier, says Patricia Call, co-director of the University of Washington's Institute for Learning and Brain Sciences. The learning process. For decades, scientists have debated how the brains of young children figure out how to communicate using language. With help from new technologies and research strategies, scientists are now finding that babies begin life with the ability to learn any language. By interacting with other people and using their superb listening and watching skills, they quickly master the specific languages they hear most often. The baby brain is really flexible, says Rebecca Gomez, an experimental psychologist at the University of Arizona, Tucson. Babies can't say much, but they're learning a lot. Cole's research, for example, suggests that the progression from babbles like gaga to actual words like good morning begins with the ability to tell the difference between simple sounds, such as ga, ba, and da. Such studies show that up to about 6 months of age, babies can recognize all the sounds that make up all the languages in the world.
Now we are going to page 35, 34.
Their ability to do that shows that babies are prepared to learn any language, Cole says. That's why we call them citizens of the world. About 6,000 sounds make up the languages spoken around the globe, but not every language uses every sound. For example, while the Swedish language distinguishes 16 vowel sounds, English uses only 8 vowel sounds, and Japanese uses just 5. Adults can hear only the sounds used in the languages they speak fluently. To a native Japanese speaker, for instance, the letters R and L sound identical. So, unlike someone whose native language is English, a Japanese speaker cannot tell row from low or rake from lake. Starting at around 6 months old, Paul says a baby's brain focuses on the most common sounds it hears. Then, children begin responding only to the sounds of the language they hear the most. In a similar way, Gomez has found slightly older babies start recognizing the patterns that make up the rules of their native language. In English, for example, kids who are about 18 months old start to figure out that words ending in ing or ed are usually verbs, and that verbs are action words. Language on the brain. Scientists are particularly interested in the brains of people who speak more than one language fluently, because that skill is hard to acquire after about age 7. In one of Cole's studies, for example, native Mandarin Chinese speakers spoke Chinese to 9-month-old American babies for 12 sessions over 4 weeks. Each session lasted about 25 minutes. At the end of the study, the American babies responded to Mandarin sounds just as well as did Chinese babies who had been hearing the language their entire lives. English-speaking teenagers and adults would not perform nearly as well. If a child regularly hears 2 languages, her brain forms a different pathway for each language. However, once the brain solidifies those electrical language pathways by around age 7, it gets harder to form new ones. By then, a baby's brain has disposed of, or pruned, all the unnecessary connections that the infant was born with. So, if you don't start studying Spanish or Russian until middle school, you must struggle against years of brain development, and progress can be frustrating. A 12-year-old's brain has to work much harder to forge language connections than an infant's brain does. We ought to be learning new languages between ages 0 and 7 when the brain does it naturally, Cole says.
Lastly,
Learning from the baby brain. For teenagers and adults who want to learn new languages, baby studies may offer some useful tips. For one thing, researchers have found that it is far better for a language learner to talk with people who speak the language than to rely on educational CDs and DVDs with recorded conversations. When infants watched someone speaking a foreign language on TV, Cole found they had a completely different experience than they did if they watched the same speaker in real life. With real speakers, the babies' brains lit up with electrical activity when they heard the sounds they had learned. The babies were looking at the TV and they seemed mesmerized, Cole says. Learning, however, did not happen. There was nothing going on in their brains, she says. Absolutely nothing.
now look at page 35 after you read. There are 5 questions or 6 questions. I will call one of you for question 1. You are going to answer the question. I give you 1 minute to answer these questions. Andrea, Andrea,
Yes,
hello.
teacher.
What do you think about
Yes.
question 1?
I think it's B.
Why?
Eh, no
Scanning
sé.
for details. Patricia calls babies piece of work because
Huh? Teacher,
Because
I can listen.
who is he? Okay, Andrea and number 803 726 2038. Who is he?
Can you repeat, teacher?
Can you answer question 1? Hello?
Wait, teacher. I don't know.
Mas é para fazer o quê?
Larissa? Larissa, what do you think? Where is Larissa? Andrea has gone. Fernando. Fernando, what do you think?
Oh, teacher, I think is
Yes, continue. I think answer is C, because in the text it said Carl said that when babies start learning language, they can easily learn all languages.
Yeah.
Yes. Danilo, Danilo. Hello, no Danilo. Thais, Thais.
Sir,
What about
teacher.
number 2?
Number 2.
According to the reading, which of the following statements is not true about babies?
D, I think. D.
Well done, bravo. Why do you think it's B?
Uh,
Just one word is enough. Ivaldo, I'll
it's
ask third question to you. Bravo, guys, well done.
thank you.
Where is Divaldo? Divaldo is here.
Teacher,
Yes, number 3. What do you think?
number 3.
Yes, the word day in line 25 refers to.
I can see number 3, teacher.
Open your book, page 36.
My book.
No book.
Wait, teacher.
Okay, I'm waiting for you now, Melsa. Hello, Melsa. No. Yes, who is he? Danilo. Ivaldo. Hello. Hello. Who is talking? Can I hear? Danilo. Hello. Is there anyone who hears me? Please just say teacher. I would like to know. I hear voices, but I don't know who belongs to.
I heard.
Okay, very good. Who hears? Can you answer number 4 at page 36? Can you? Very good. Danilo and Adriana. Can I have the answer for question 4? Very good, Adriana. I see you. I saw your hand. Can you? Adriana or
Teacher.
Divaldo?
Excuse me, teacher Shah.
Yes.
Your time is almost finished. You
Okay,
have
now,
to end the lesson, okay?
okay, let me give.
I think number is
Already
C.
finishes.
Teacher.
Okay,
Yeah,
for
Rosario.
homework, page 36, exercise BC. Your
Yeah,
homework.
that's teacher, homework is what?
Uh,
Exercise B.
page 36, exercise BC.
No, teacher, please, no homework.
Yes, homework. See you. I like you very much.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
You too, teacher. Thank you.